Our sermon today is entitled Rediscovering Halloween by Rediscovering All Hallowed Tide. So, did you know that Halloween is more than just a day of going out and dressing up, going to people's houses for children, getting candy, having parties? And that is what I want to talk to you about today. It's more information that, in all honesty, I knew, but I didn't know all of it. And I thought I'd share it with you today. Depending on who you ask, Halloween probably falls somewhere between the harmless secular celebration at one end of the spectrum to the pagan or Satanistic holiday on the other end. And most of us probably don't even know that Halloween is a Christian holiday. The word Halloween is simply a reduction of All Hallows Evening. You may be familiar with the adjective hallowed, which means set apart or consecrated. The verb hallow means to make or set apart as holy. But hallow can also be a noun, and it means a holy person or a saint. That's where we get Halloween. Essentially, it's another term for All Saints' Eve. And that makes it pretty significant because on November the 1st, All Saints' Day is observed by many Protestants all over the world. It is a day of celebrating the communion of saints and the community made up of the past, the present, and the future Christians. As with all other feasts and holy days, as Christmas and Easter, some Christians have traditionally celebrated All Saints' Day with a vigil the evening before. The vigil became All Hallows' Eve. This comes from the Jewish practice of beginning days at sunset, not at midnight, a practice that carried over into early Christianity. Halloween and All Saints' Day are followed on November the 2nd by a third, lesser known day, All Souls' Day. Didn't know that. The combined 3-day observance is called All Hallowed Tide. So what's the difference between All Saints and All Souls? You ask, I asked. These days, because everything seems to be blended over time, a lot of churches don't even recognize these days. And All Souls Days is not recognized at all. All Saints' Days is traced back to the early 11th century, when Pope Boniface IV blessed the temple in Rome to the Virgin Mary and ordered a yearly celebration to commemorate it. But this happened on May 13th, which coincided with the final day of La Murala, a festival in ancient Rome during which the Romans attempted to exorcise ghosts of the dead from their homes. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory moved the day to November 1st to mark the dedication of a small chapel in St. Peter's Basilica. Some argue that this was an attempt by Gregory to Christianize the Samhain, a pagan festival of the dead observed by ancient Celts. Although the focus and purpose of this was quite different, the common theme of the dead was present at all three festivals. As time passed, no doubt the Christians influenced the pagans and vice versa. But All Saints' Day isn't just about those who died. As years passed, All Saints became a day when we recognize Christians who have gone before us. But it's also a day of asking how we should live as saints now and how we intend to pass on that faith to future generations and believers. That's what the communion of saints is all about. All Souls Day, on the other hand, is a day that was set aside exclusively for commemorating the faithfully departed, particularly one's relatives and friends. While All Saints' Day has traditionally been a celebration of more well-known believers, martyrs, and heroes of the faith, All Souls' Day is meant to be an occasion with the emphasis on the lesser-known Christians, especially the ones you have known personally. Also, if All Saints' Day doesn't fall on a Sunday, unfortunately, this has probably further separated Halloween in the minds of many Christians. Like Christmas and Easter, the modern secular holiday, Halloween, has been shaped over the years by a number of factors, including paganism, Christianity, and commercialism. And the greatest of these is commercialism. Because of Halloween's association with death and evil, some believers and churches have avoided celebrating All Hallows' Eve entirely. Others have attempted to Christianize the celebration of Halloween, which I find somewhat puzzling. How do you Christianize something that's technically already Christian? Perhaps we should do something radical and return Halloween to its roots. I don't know what that radical could be, but I do know that remembering those who laid the groundwork for our faith is very important. And that is why we, as Christians, remember All Hallows Tide is a part of our Christian heritage. And now that you know the history, share it with someone. Also, take the opportunity to celebrate those who have played and still are a part of who you are and who you are still becoming. Amen.